We have a lovely couple that have recently joined with our fellowship, and before they started attending, one day the wife, Nicole, felt constrained to give some of the eggs away that her chickens were producing. There was a suggestion maybe we should sell them, but she felt the Lord wanted her to give them away. And so her husband, Ryan, took some of them with him to work. He works at the university, and he's in the same area as my son-in-law, and he gave them to Chase. And so Chase, during his lunch break, he brought them home and put them in the fridge. Now, Sarah had been out with her 7 children in the morning doing chores and so on, and as they were returning home, the children were hoping that they could get some scrambled eggs, but she knew there were no eggs in the fridge. And so when they arrived home, she opened the fridge, and there were the eggs. And looking at it in some surprise, and one of the little twins, just 5 years old this week, looked up and said, "Maybe it's just a miracle, Mom." Maybe it is just a miracle. And I thought of that beautiful verse. It's the first verse of Psalm 75. As you know, 75 is the middle of the Psalter. There are 150 psalms. And in the first verse, it makes this beautiful statement, "We give thanks to you, O God. We give thanks. For your wondrous works declare that your name is near." So the idea is that when God does a work, if we have eyes to see it, we will see the miracles that are occurring all around us. Perhaps we missed an auto accident because someone forgot something and we had to be delayed. Sometimes we don't know that it was a miracle and won't know till later. But in all the twists and turns of life, those who know the Lord can see his hand in everything. The special little kindnesses, that breeze for the working man outside that just cools him in the midst of his day, or the fragrance of a beautiful blossom that comes across our way as if it's some kind of accident, but it isn't. God is being good to us. He's providing for us in so many ways. A chance meeting with an old friend who mentions something that encourages us, or perhaps a thought that we hadn't considered in a long time, and it refreshed our soul, and we just lifted up our thanks to God. The more we have eyes to see it, the more we will see in his wondrous works his name. What is his name? His name is his character. We see the character of God in the kindnesses and gifts and generosity that he brings into our lives. Sometimes we're flagging in the middle of a day and we just sigh or groan, and suddenly we feel like we have wind under our wings, and we redouble our efforts and carry on. Sometimes we feel we should speak a word to a person, and we're starting to lose our courage when suddenly some thought or some prayer of a person maybe on the other side of the world praying for us, and we feel that urge, that consciousness that God is for us, and we step into the challenge. And these are all things that, if we have eyes to see and hearts to respond and ears to hear, we'll catch the music of heaven in our daily experiences of life. And so this should be our prayer, Lord, give me eyes to see. Isn't this what Paul prayed for the saints? That the eyes of their understanding, and the word there is the eyes of your heart, might be illuminated to see the wondrous works of God, not only in redemption, but in providence, in daily provision, in the kindness of friends. And as we start to realize that God is a lot more active in our lives than we sometimes assume. And so God help us to sense the electricity of heaven, the conscious input of heaven into the lives of God's people. And like little Lydia, to look up and say, maybe it's just a miracle.